The rise of the shock exchange system for decades, the conversation surrounding the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, and the Zimbabwean dollar, often referred to as Zimbonds, has captivated a unique community of investors, speculators, and dreamers. Across internet forums, Telegram groups, private investor calls, and whispered conversations among insiders, one question has dominated. Could these currencies ever experience a sudden revaluation, creating life-changing wealth for holders? At first glance, such talk sounds like just another cycle of speculation. Yet recent developments inside two of the largest banking institutions in the United States, Wells Fargo and Chase, have given new life to the narrative. Reports are surfacing that a novel, technology-driven exchange mechanism for the dinar has quietly been activated. If the claims hold true, this represents not merely another rumor, but an organized, systematic shift in how certain currencies are redeemed and valued. This so-called shock exchange system introduces an entirely new framework. It blends automation, artificial intelligence, biometric verification, and contractual rules into a tightly controlled process. What it ultimately means is that dinar holders are no longer standing in line at a teller window waiting to trade notes. Instead, they are navigating a high-stakes, rules-bound procedure where timing, documentation, and precision dictate success or failure. The rollout of this framework has ignited both hope and fear. For some, it represents validation that the long-anticipated revaluation of the Iraqi dinar is finally materializing in an organized fashion. For others, it is a source of anxiety, a game of musical chairs where the unprepared risk losing everything they've waited years to achieve. To fully understand what this system entails, one must examine its origins, its mechanics, and most importantly, the implications for every tier of participant. 1. From rumor to reality. How we arrived here. The dinar story has been around since the early 2000s, when Iraq's post-war reconstruction created a new currency. Over the years, speculation grew that the dinar, undervalued in global markets, might one day be revalued at a much higher rate. This idea drew in countless small investors, many purchasing notes through currency brokers with hopes of staggering returns. Cycles of rumor followed. Every few months, claims circulated that this week or this month the revaluation would happen. Insiders promised secret memos, hidden bank screens, or back-channel deals. But time and again, the rumors fizzled. Skeptics dismissed the entire narrative as a scam, while true believers clung to the hope that the payoff was simply delayed. What makes the current wave of reports different is the specificity and technological sophistication being described. This is not a vague claim about rates showing up on a back screen. Instead, it is a detailed account of banks deploying biometric scanners, artificial intelligence algorithms, blockchain-based verification, and secure digital scheduling portals. These are not the tools of a rumor mill. They are the hallmarks of a deliberately engineered financial infrastructure. Allegedly leaked memos suggest that within the last 72 hours, both Wells Fargo and Chase initiated a rollout of this framework for their high-tier clients. Whether all details are accurate or not, the level of technical description has captured widespread attention. Even seasoned skeptics are forced to admit that this is not the usual recycling of old promises. Something new appears to be unfolding. F2 Anatomy of the shock exchange system. So what exactly is this system, and why is it called the shock system? At its core, the process is built on 4 pillars. 1. Artificial intelligence rate monitoring. The system continuously scans live currency markets, applying algorithmic adjustments to offer different rates to different client tiers. 2. Biometric and digital verification. Participants cannot simply walk in with currency notes. They must pass through identity checks that include facial recognition, two-factor authentication, and geolocation confirmation. 3. Tiered access structure. Exchange rates and terms are not uniform. High-tier clients, tiers 1 and 2, are offered significantly better deals than lower-tier participants. Walk-ins and unverified individuals face sharp disadvantages. 4. Time-bound rate locks. Rates are not fixed indefinitely. They exist in fleeting windows, sometimes as short as 15 minutes, after which they adjust downward. This is the essence of the shock rate. It delivers a brief surge of opportunity, a higher rate available only in tightly defined moments, but punishes delays or mistakes with swift declines. Imagine walking into a redemption center with a scheduled appointment at 10:30 a.m. The system offers you $4.72 per dinar at that instant, but your paperwork is incomplete or a verification check takes too long. Within 25 minutes, the algorithm recalibrates, and suddenly the rate collapses to $3.31. In less than half an hour, your potential return has diminished drastically. The mechanism rewards meticulous preparation, punishes hesitation, and enforces discipline. In many ways, it mirrors high-frequency trading platforms used by hedge funds, where microseconds of delay can mean millions lost or gained. 3. The role of banks. Wells Fargo and Chase, the two major institutions at the center of this rollout. Chase and Wells Fargo are reportedly equipping select facilities with advanced infrastructure. Chase Bank is said to be deploying specialized exchange desks outfitted with intelligent terminals designed exclusively for dinar transactions. These machines combine biometric verification with real-time rate feeds. Wells Fargo is reportedly leveraging blockchain technology to instantly validate the authenticity of submitted currency notes, while also maintaining a tamper-proof audit trail. Access to these facilities is tightly restricted. Investors cannot simply walk into a branch and ask to exchange their dinar. Instead, appointments must be scheduled through secure portals linked to verified phone numbers and email addresses already associated with the client's banking profile. Appointments are limited to redemption centers within a 50-mile radius of the holder's registered address, ensuring geolocation alignment. This prevents outsiders from attempting to game the system by traveling to other cities or states. The process transforms redemption from a casual transaction into a gated, contract-driven procedure. Participation is not a right. It is a privilege extended only to those who comply with strict requirements. 4. Documentation and preparation. Survival in a high-stakes environment. The single most important factor in this environment is preparation. Holders must arrive with a complete, meticulously organized set of documents. Original currency notes, sorted by denomination. 2 forms of government-issued identification. Proof of residence, such as a utility bill or lease agreement. An active account statement from a Tier 1 or Tier 2 bank. A printed currency declaration form, obtained directly from the scheduling portal. Experts advise making at least 3 hard copies of every document. Relying solely on digital devices is strongly discouraged, since most redemption centers restrict electronics for security reasons. Failure to bring even a single required document can result in a downgraded rate or outright denial. The system is designed to reward those who are fully prepared and penalize those who are not. This is why advisors stress the importance of rehearsing the process in advance. Checking that every document is present, arranged in order, and properly signed. A few minutes of disorganization can cost thousands, even millions, in lost value. 5. The contract rate versus market rate dilemma. At the final stage of redemption, participants face a crucial decision: whether to accept the market rate or the contract rate. Market rate, typically ranging between $2.10 and $3.00 per dinar, provides instant liquidity with fewer obligations. No strings attached, no NDAs, and generally simpler tax handling. Contract rate, higher, often between $4.50 and $6.40. However, it comes with conditions: non-disclosure agreements, structured payout schedules, and heavier tax implications. Many experienced holders advocate a hybrid strategy, redeeming a portion at contract rates for long-term security, while exchanging the rest at market rates for immediate access to funds. For example, a 60-40 split provides both stability and liquidity. Whatever option is chosen, timing is critical. Rate locks typically expire within 15 minutes. Every line of the agreement must be reviewed carefully, yet without wasting precious seconds. At the conclusion, participants should insist on receiving both a printed transaction confirmation and a signed copy of the rate agreement. Bringing a trusted financial advisor or attorney is strongly recommended. Most banks now allow one professional representative to accompany the client into the redemption room. 6. Expert commentary. The new era of controlled exchanges. Industry veterans are already weighing in on the implications of this system. Thomas Rhee, a former senior analyst at HSBC, explains, "This is not a rumor-driven experiment. What we are witnessing is a carefully designed framework that borrows from hedge fund auction models. Speed and precision determine outcomes. Those who hesitate lose. According to the sliding scales of rates and the rapid adjustments are identical to mechanisms seen in high-frequency financial environments. He believes the dinar has now moved out of the realm of exotic speculation and into the world of controlled, high-stakes finance. His conclusion is stark. The prepared will thrive, the unprepared will fall behind. 7. The bigger picture. Why this matters. The introduction of this system raises questions that go beyond individual profit. It represents a controlled attempt to channel liquidity into global markets without triggering chaos. By regulating who can redeem, when they can redeem, and at what rate, the banks ensure that the flood of capital is carefully distributed. It also signals a shift in how speculative currencies are treated. No longer are they dismissed as exotic side bets. Instead, they are being managed with the same rigor as large-scale institutional assets. For holders, the message is simple: ownership alone is not enough. Success now depends on knowledge, preparation, and flawless execution. The arrival of the shock exchange system marks the beginning of a new era for dinar holders. What was once a waiting game fueled by rumors has evolved into a precise, high-stakes process governed by technology and contracts. The rewards are real, but so are the risks. Every document, every minute, and every decision matters. Those who approach the system with discipline and preparation may finally see the financial transformation they have long anticipated. Those who do not may watch the opportunity slip away in the blink of an eye. Mastering the shock exchange, strategies, scenarios, and global implications. The unveiling of the shock exchange system has left many currency holders both excited and unsettled. Section 1 established the foundational understanding of this system. Its AI-driven architecture, tier-based rules, biometric requirements, and the punishingly short rate windows. Now, in Section 2, we will step deeper into its consequences, explore potential strategies to navigate it, and consider the global ripple effects of this unprecedented framework. At its heart, this system is not only about exchanging money. It is about discipline, timing, psychology, and the ability to perform under pressure. It is about distinguishing between those who merely bought exotic currencies in hopes of a payday and those who are ready to operate like professional investors. 1. The psychology of the shock exchange. Before analyzing numbers, rates, and paperwork, it is essential to examine the psychological challenge this system poses. The average currency holder has been waiting for years, sometimes decades, believing in a future where their dinars, dongs, or zimbans suddenly become worth fortunes. This prolonged waiting has created an emotional buildup: excitement, frustration, skepticism, and hope all colliding. Now, as the shock exchange unfolds, participants are being thrust into a high-pressure environment where seconds matter. Rates fluctuate in real time, appointments are tightly monitored, and every missing form carries devastating consequences. This combination of long-term anticipation and short-term urgency can lead to paralysis. Some may hesitate, second-guessing their decisions. Others may act rashly, failing to read the fine print in their contracts. Both extremes are dangerous. The key psychological traits required are calmness under pressure, the ability to remain steady when rates start sliding, preparation-driven confidence, knowing documents are complete and rehearsed reduces panic, discipline in decision-making, choosing between contract and market rates with clarity, not emotion, resilience, accepting that small mistakes may cost some value but still pushing forward effectively. In many ways, the shock exchange is as much a mental test as it is a financial procedure. 2 case studies. How success or failure plays out. To illustrate the mechanics of the system, consider 3 hypothetical participants. Case A. The prepared professional Maria, a longtime dinar holder, spends 2 weeks preparing her documentation. She schedules her appointment through Wells Fargo's secure portal, chooses a nearby redemption center, and organizes 3 hard copies of every required form. On the day of her appointment, she arrives early, calm, and ready. The system verifies her within minutes. At 9:00 a.m., the AI terminal offers her a contract rate of $5.12 per dinar. She accepts, reads the conditions carefully, and signs within the 15-minute lock window. She walks out with both printed confirmation and digital copies of her agreement. Maria's preparation secures her maximum return. Case B. The hesitant holder James, another investor, has been holding Dinar for a decade but procrastinates on preparation. He books an afternoon appointment, brings incomplete documentation, and struggles to find a missing utility bill. The verification process stalls for 30 minutes. During this delay, his offered rate collapses from $4.85 to $3.20. In frustration, he signs the contract anyway, but his earnings are far below what they could have been. James's lack of preparation costs him millions in potential profit. Case C. The walk-in risk-taker Sarah hears rumors that redemption centers are open and decides to drive to a Chase branch without scheduling an appointment. Security denies her entry, classifying her as a walk-in. She is told that even if she is accepted later, her rates will be downgraded by 40%. Sarah leaves disheartened, realizing too late that compliance with the system's rules is non-negotiable. These examples demonstrate the stark contrast between success and failure. The shock exchange rewards meticulous planning and penalizes negligence. 3 strategic approaches to maximizing returns navigating the shock exchange is not about luck. It is about strategy. Below are the most critical approaches for participants. A. The early appointment advantage. Insiders consistently suggest that morning appointments, particularly between 8 o'clock am and 11 o'clock am, yield more stable rates. Scheduling early reduces exposure to algorithmic rate adjustments that may worsen later in the day. B. The hybrid redemption model. Rather than placing all holdings into one basket, many investors choose a split strategy, redeeming part at the contract rate for long-term wealth, while cashing out the rest at the market rate for immediate liquidity. This approach balances security and flexibility. See document redundancy. Creating multiple hard copies of all required documents ensures there are backups if one is misplaced or damaged. Professional investors often keep each set in a labeled folder for instant access. D. Professional representation. Bringing a financial advisor or trust attorney provides a second pair of eyes on contracts, ensuring participants do not overlook critical clauses under time pressure. E. Geographic precision holders should redeem within their verified residential radius. Any attempt to game the system by traveling to distant centers can trigger geolocation downgrades, cutting rates by up to 60%. F. Rate lock discipline. When offered a favorable rate, hesitation is the enemy. Reading every word of the contract is crucial, but over-deliberating risks missing the 15-minute window. Balance is key, cautious yet decisive. 4. The role of technology in enforcing compliance. What makes the shock exchange unique is the way technology ensures discipline. Gone are the days when rumors of backroom deals and under-the-table exchanges circulated. The integration of facial recognition scanners prevents impersonation or fraudulent claims. Blockchain verification ensures that every currency note redeemed is tracked, preventing counterfeiting. Two-factor authentication requires holders to prove their identity through both digital and physical means. Geolocation tracking ties participants to their registered addresses, eliminating mobility loopholes. Together, these mechanisms ensure that only verified, compliant participants benefit from the system. 5 global implications of the shock exchange. The system does not exist in isolation. It is part of a broader global financial strategy. Liquidity control. By staggering redemptions through appointments, banks prevent sudden floods of cash from destabilizing markets. Wealth redistribution. Favoring higher-tier clients aligns with global banking trends that reward loyalty and high-net-worth relationships. Market stability. Real-time AI adjustments prevent runaway speculation by tightening opportunities the moment volatility appears. Surveillance expansion. The heavy use of biometrics and geolocation shows how finance is moving toward total monitoring of participants. This transformation signals that exotic currency speculation is no longer treated as a fringe activity. It has been pulled into the mainstream of controlled, monitored financial systems. 6. Risks and hidden dangers. While the shock exchange promises opportunity, it also carries dangers. NDA traps. Contract rate agreements often include strict non-disclosure terms. Violating them can trigger severe penalties. Tax complexities. Higher returns may push holders into complicated tax obligations, Without professional guidance, participants may lose a significant portion to government levies. Rate collapse anxiety. Watching rates fall in real time can induce panic, leading to poor decisions. Exclusion risks. Those without appointments or proper documents may be permanently excluded from favorable rates. The system is deliberately designed to separate disciplined investors from casual holders. The risks are not accidents, they are features. 7 voices from the field industry insiders continue to emphasize the seriousness of the shock exchange. A private wealth manager speaking anonymously explains, "The banks aren't experimenting here, they've built a machine. Every line of code, every biometric check, every 15-minute lock window, it's all intentional. The goal is not just redemption, it's behavioral control." Another advisor adds, "This system is a filter. It rewards those who treat currency holding as an investment business and eliminates those who treated it like a lottery ticket." These perspectives highlight the deeper philosophy behind the system. Wealth is not simply given, it is earned through compliance and preparation. 8. Looking ahead, the future of speculative currency, the shock exchange, may only be the beginning. If successful, similar systems could be applied to other speculative or emerging market currencies. Already, discussions have begun about whether Vietnamese dong holders will face the same framework, or whether Zimbabwe bonds will eventually be absorbed into the model. More broadly, this approach reflects the future of finance itself, technology-driven, surveillance-heavy, and structured to reward efficiency while punishing disorder. In a sense, the shock exchange is a glimpse into how all major financial systems may eventually operate. Conclusion: the shock exchange is more than just a currency redemption process. It is a meticulously engineered system that transforms speculation into discipline, chaos into structure, and rumor into reality. It is a framework designed not merely to handle financial transactions, but to shape the behavior of participants. For holders of the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, or zimbonds, the message is clear. Ownership alone is no longer sufficient. Survival and success demand preparation, precision, and composure under pressure. Those who master the system may indeed see their long-awaited dreams of wealth realized. Those who underestimate it may find their fortunes vanish in the blink of an eye. The shock exchange is not a drill. It is the new financial battlefield. And in this battlefield, preparedness is the ultimate currency. Disclaimer: all content provided by IQD Global Intel is for educational and informational purposes only. We are not financial advisors and do not provide investment, trading, or banking advice. Viewers should always conduct their own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor before making any financial decisions.